Hi everybody, thanks so much for joining us. We are broadcasting live today from Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium. It is like the perfect day to be out here. It's absolutely gorgeous, a cloudless sky. And we are here to share with you a great resource to keep guests of the zoo healthy and safe. It's Children's Hospital and Medical Center's first aid station. You can see right here, we're at the entrance by guest services. And today we are going to show you inside the clinical space. We're going to talk about some of the services that we provide. And you'll also hear some interesting stories from the front lines of the nursing staff who work at this unique location. So we'll head inside. And I want to introduce you to Crystal Hartman, who is a children's nurse out here at the zoo. Thanks so much for being here, Crystal.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is great. This is so fun. And I think everyone would agree that you have an incredibly cool job. So we want to invite questions for Crystal while we're broadcasting live. You can put those in the space below, maybe about what she sees out here, anything about her work at the zoo. So,
Sounds great.
So tell people, we kind of showed people, but where are we located right now?
Hey everybody, we're located at the front gate, the main gate of the Omaha Zoo. It is the Children's Hospital First Aid Station. You will see our sign here. And also if you look at your map, go to your map, it also has a Red Cross icon on there, and you'll see it at the very front on the map. So some people forget to look at the map and find out where we're at. So,
and are you open year-round?
We are open year-round. The zoo is. First Aid Station is open from the last weekend of March until usually through Labor Day, and then we're Saturdays, Sundays, September, and October. We are also staffed by zoo EMTs. Some are in security, some are at the guest service area, and some are in the aquarium. So there is medical help all year round.
Important for guests to know. They know they can be safe and healthy in this space. So what kind of care do you provide here? What kind of issues, injuries do you see?
It's kind of seasonal, actually. This time of year, people, hopefully in the next week or so, will be getting their flip-flops on, wearing shoes without socks. So we get a lot of people coming in for blisters, and so we hand out lots of Band-Aids. We've got cute ones, the neons, we do zebra stripes, leopard spots, all that. We also have the good old stat strips that are great for blisters. We also just have people who maybe have seizures, and we have people that will get slivers from fences, things like that. We have people who want to come in for headaches, aches and pains. We hand out Tylenol, ibuprofen. Stomach aches, we can hand out Tums. Allergic reactions, whether it's seasonal allergies, something that may have provoked an allergy reaction here at the zoo, they'll come in for Benadryl. So we can see a whole array of things.
And we were talking before about, oh my goodness, I got out to the zoo, I forgot my sunscreen.
Correct.
We can help you.
Summertime is coming, yes. So please come in. We do have bottles of sunscreen that we would be happy to help you apply, or you can apply. We've got a sink, then you can wash your hands. That always sometimes is kind of a pain when you got sunscreen on your hands, and that's no good. So come on in, you can get your sunscreen. We can provide you with Band-Aids. We also hand out these cute little ice packs. If you get real hot, they got the cute little children's sun and the logo, so that promotes children's for sure. And so summertime is coming up. And drink your water this summer, everybody, because it's always very hot here. You can always add about 5 degrees, believe it or not, with the pavement heat when it's really hot and humid here in Nebraska during the summertime. So
a lot of people might not realize that Children's is here. How long has Children's had a medical presence at the zoo?
Yes, the very first year that Children's had a presence here at the zoo was 1991. They started with a little tent facility down around the corner, and then they moved a season or two after that, I believe, to this little brick house that's kind of behind the dome. And in 1996, the aquarium was built, and then they actually added a children's space called the Children's Health Hut back then. And we were there for a lot of years, and I believe we moved here in 2013, and it became the Children's Hospital Medical Center First Aid Station.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful location. And you were telling me something really notable before we started, that we were the first in the country to have medical nurses at zoo.
Correct, yes, which is super awesome, I think. Omaha Zoo and Children's came together back in 1991 and decided to have a medical facility. And yes, we were the first facility to have RNs staff it, which I think is super cool. I know St. Louis has had interest. I'm not sure if they have RNs or not, but we are one of the only. So
that's awesome. Cool. It's a great partnership between two, Omaha entities that are just all about kids.
Exactly.
So, and it's of course you, but what's the staffing of the first aid station?
There are 5 of us nurses that staff year round. We share the shifts. There is only one of us here during a shift, which is 9 to 5:30 every day that we are here, and but otherwise there's 5 of us to rotate through those schedule.
And I know there's EMTs around as well, correct?
Correct. So zoo security, guest services, and then like I said, there's a couple people down in the aquarium that are also EMT certified.
Awesome. Well, give us a little tour of the space.
You bet. So
this
is our front desk
area.
Yeah, no problem. This is our front desk area. This is where we'll tend to sit while we're not seeing anybody. People will come in and ask us questions. We have a computer here that we do. We have a zoo database that we actually do our charting for people who do come in, and we'll do tally marks for simple things like Band-Aids and medicine. We also have a write-up report that we will do on people who do get hurt more seriously and then also need like a follow-up call and things like that, because of course we care what happens when they leave us. We've got a couple of bays with a bed, really nice striker beds that rise up and down, also allow the head to come up in case they're feeling nauseated or have headaches and want to be raised. We also have this wonderful rocking chair for those mamas out there who need a breastfeeding space. We'll come in here and utilize this space at times. We also have another large space down at Adventure Trails, so we're not the only space because sometimes we do get bombarded with emergencies throughout the summer, so it is hard for breastfeeding mamas to come in here during those times. We utilize blood pressure machines. We will have people sometimes walk in just wanting a blood pressure check, and we can do that for sure. But we also, of course, utilize those for people who are dehydrated, have heart issues, that have symptoms of chest pain and things like that. We will definitely take their vital signs and whatnot. Got the wonderful puke bags in case anybody's got a tummy ache.
You have to be prepared.
We have a wheelchair for transporting if we need. This is our second bay. The most invasive thing we really can do is oxygen, so we can do that. And then we have this cute little flamingo light that our zoo maintenance people actually covered for us, which I think is super cute. So we, of course, try to add our pictures and all the little fun stuff.
And so how do you typically get contacted? Do they come here or do you go to them? How does that work?
Great question. A lot of times people will walk into us and they're welcome to do any time. We also communicate via radio. People will call for the first aid nurse, which is great, and then we can respond that way. Sometimes people will call on cell phones, believe it or not. They'll have security's number or whatnot, so we may get contacted that way. We do always have a sign in our door for when we're closed, but also if we are on zoo grounds, and then we'll have a phone number which is to security that is there. So if we're not in here, it's because we are on an emergency or responding to a call, and then you can call that number and somebody will come in help you out here. So
what's the role of the golf cart?
Yeah,
great question. You have golf carts, Crystal.
We get around by golf carts, which is super fun.
Can we go
Absolutely. Come on out. Yes, golf cart is kind of fun. It is labeled with the first aid station.
There we go.
So we parked right around the corner here, so it's easy access for me to jump on. I've got my bag. It says first aid here, so people know why we're trying to get around and about. We have the luxury of having seats back here, but we also can fold it down too. So if we need to lay somebody down or carry supplies or whatnot too, we can do that. And then this is our cute little garage that we get to park it in at night, so it stays warm and keep our battery charged up for emergencies. So.
Okay, so Crystal, I have a feeling you have some interesting stories because this is such a unique location to have a first aid station. So what are some of like the notable stories from your time working here for 17 years?
Notable stories are, one of the most zoo-related stories is probably the cactus spines. We will get people, the dome will get busy during the summertime months especially, and people will turn around and oops, there's a cactus close to the path, and either somebody might put an arm into it or hands tend to be something that happens, and so they'll come in with cactus spines in their hands. So we that's kind of a time-consuming thing, but we help everybody out trying to get all those cactus spines out. You know, incidences too, like people not realizing they do a really good job of keeping the glass clean. Sometimes people will honestly run into some glass and either hit their head, get a little bump because it's so clean, and they're like, oh, didn't realize something was there. And many a times people will be walking and honestly they're talking to the people they're with, or they're looking at the exhibits, which are awesome, and they turn around and literally will walk into something. Yeah. So it is amazing when you are at a really cool place like this zoo, what takes your attention from paying attention to the path you're on or to your surroundings around you of just getting around.
You can be
can
easily
happen.
distracted in this place.
Easily
There's
distracted.
a lot to look at. And of course, I know recently, probably in the last year or so, you made the news when a child was born here, and I think you had a small role in that, right?
A human baby was born at the zoo, right? So, yes, our attendance is getting really crazy high around here at the zoo. I believe they hit 2.1 million last year for visitors. And of course, most of them come between April and October. And so happened last April, a woman was here with her family and had her baby here at the zoo by the North Gate. So that was a first.
That was a first for you,
in my
right?
career, yes.
Oh my goodness. And then we got the question, have you ever treated an animal?
That's a very good question as well, and I have never. I, of course, have gotten the privilege of holding one or two in my time here, getting to know zoo people here, but I have never had to treat one. However, quite a few years back, there was a baby gorilla that actually was arresting, and so they did put an AED on it to try to save it, but I believe it was a head injury, and so it didn't end up in a positive way, but we have utilized some of our medical stuff here for animal care. So.
Yeah. So I think you have an awesome job, and we're so grateful to have you on our team and to have a presence here. What do you love about working with children's, for children's, with children at the zoo?
It's the biggest privilege I could ever say. I started here in 2002 working here at the zoo for children's, and I absolutely love the experience here. To be able to not only promote children's, but also to promote the zoo, and to be here in this environment is wonderful. And the PR part of it is my favorite part of the job. It is, I love to hear the stories that people want to come into the first aid station to tell us, and I also love just promoting what I do as a nurse out in the community.
Yeah,
So,
it's about those connections you make.
love it.
And it's
Love it.
it's a wonderful community treasure, and I think that's something that the zoo and children's we're both all about improving life for children and for families. So the next time you're out at Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo and Aquarium, just remember that children's is here too.
We're
Crystal
here.
might be
We're
here
here.
too.
Stop in and say hi.
That's right, to help guests just be as safe and healthy as possible. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
you're
It was a joy
welcome.
to talk to you. And remember to follow us. We're now on Instagram at Children's Omaha. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and you can always find us online at children'somaha.org.